Welcome back to the channel, guys. So we are back again today with a bit of a different Xenos themed battle report.
It's going to be a nice bit of fun. We've had a lot of Imperial factions and Chaos factions on the channel recently. So we're doing Orks versus Tyranids.
So I'm playing Tyranids. It's the first ever time I've used them. I've not really used them before. So I've decided that I'm going to be the Pac-Man of this and chase the mushrooms around the board. And then when I finally get to the red cherry, you tell. Oh wait, wrong game.
Wrong game.
So yeah, I've never used Tyranids before. Thought it'd be a good laugh because big bugs, and I get to run around and just
We've tried to make a fairly decent list with the Tyranids, and then I've been pacing up another new unit from the Orcs, so I thought I'd stick that in there.
Yeah, and they're a fan favourite, to be honest, the Orcs. People do like them, so it should be good. So we're playing 1,000 points as always, and we are playing a reconnaissance from the 2020 chapter approved. So what is reconnaissance?
So, now the mission briefing is saying that we are scouting for vital intelligence. In my case, I'm looking for good stuff to loot. You're looking for some food to nibble. Pretty much. So,
I hear there's some Twinkies hiding around.
Well, you've got some canned soup rolling around. So the special rule for this mission specifically is that fast attack units have the obsec keyword, which doesn't affect you, Tom.
Nope.
But I've got some Storm Boys, so I'm all right.
Fast attack, Tyranids have that.
They do. We've got gargoyles and all sorts of fun bits. So we'll come back with the armies and see you in a bit.
See you in a second. Okay, so here's my 1,000 points of Tyranids. As you know, I've never really used them before, so just having a bit of fun to see what happens. So this is a battalion detachment at 996 points. I'm starting with 5 CP because I've used one for Progeny of the Hive. And my HQ choices are the Broodlord, who has powers of Catalyst, and then he has the Maw-claws of Thyrax, and he is my Warlord. And then my other HQ choice is a Neurothrope with a Psychic Scream, which will give me a little bit of mortal wound output. Moving on to my troops choices. I've gone with 4 troop choices just to give me a little bit more like aerial, not aerial, but like every space to move around, try and cap some points. So I have got 3 Ripper Swarms, 2 sets of 10 Termagants with Fleshborers, and then 14 Genestealers, which are my main threat really, because they will run around and run riot, especially with a Broodlord near them. My elite choices, I have brought 3 Hive Guard, which have all got Impalers, so I'm able to shoot out of line of sight, so they can skirt around and just be a real pain for Harry's Orcs. If we get a bit too close, I can shoot through a wall, catch them off guard. And they are also running adaptive physiology, so they do ignore AP -1 and 2 to just give them that little bit of extra safety if they're getting, because they probably will get targeted because they are a big threat. And then in my heavy support, I've got 2 Carnifexes, which are one has got adaptive physiology, which will be the one with the gun standing up. Enhanced senses, heavy venom cannon, spore cysts, and then 2 devourers with brain leech worms. And then the second guy with the gun facing down has just got a heavy venom cannon, spore cysts, and 2 devourers with brain leech worms. So this is the full list at just under 1,000 points. So we will move on and see what Harry's brought today.
Alright then, so this is 999 points of good old Orcs. So, starting off, I'm running 2 patrol attachments today. In the first patrol attachment, I've got my Warlord. He is my run-of-the-mill standard Orc war boss. He's got his attack Squig, the Killer Claw Relic, Brutal but Cunning, and a custom shooter. For his Warlord trait, I've given Brutal but Cunning, so that means that he gets to re-roll hit rolls in fight basically was charged, or heroically intervened, and he's +1 damage as well, so you can rock around with as damage for Power Claw. It's done the job many times before, and it will continue doing the job again. For troops choices in that patrol attachment, I've got a blob of 16 Orc boys, an extra Orc boy just because of points, really making them work. Then in that patrol attachment, I've also got the 2 separate units of killer cannons. So they have really worked quite nicely for me in terms of objective holding, and they're just a solid unit. I've got them with rocket launchers, but they're not there for damage output. It's more of just in a push they can hopefully do something. Then moving on into the second patrol detachment. These are both going to be Goth detachments, by the way. I've got my Weird Boy Warp Head, so spent CP for that upgrade. He has got the jump, because with mobs of Orc boys you just need to have the jump to get you places. I've also given him Warpath because I'm running less boys and more toys this time. I need the Warpath just to get my attacks up to a healthy amount more than anything. In Elites section I've got the Pain Boy. So he's just standard as he comes with his Power Claw and his Grot Orderly. I've then also got in my fast attack a squad of 9 Storm Boys. Now the Nob there has Power Claw because we've got to have at least 1 Power Claw in this army, otherwise it's not a proper Orc army. They're there hopefully to jump in, capture objectives and just have a bit of fun. Absolutely love the models, so if I can get them in the list I will. Then in the last section I've got a squad of 2 Smasher guns, so a bit of long-ranged fire support, which my Orc army does normally lack, so it'll be nice to have a bit of DACA, as you say. And then last but not least, my newest addition to my army, I've painted up a second Death Dread to so him and his buddy can rock around having a great bit of fun. So both of those are armed with 2 Kill Saws and 2 Kill Claws, and I've given them Orkimatic Pistons as a custom job, so they get a 9-inch move and rerollable advances. So that is that. That is the end of the Orcs. We will come back with deployment.
Reconnaissance Mission is an incursion level mission from the Grand Tournament 2020 mission pack. The primary objective is Take and Hold. Score 5 victory points if you control 1 objective marker. Score 5 more victory points if you control 2 or more objective markers, and finally score 5 victory points if you control more objectives than your opponent. This is to a maximum of 15 and cannot be scored during the first turn. The mission special rule is called Recon Units. Units which have the fast attack battlefield role have the objective secured ability.
Right then, so we are back from deployment now. So I think me and Tom both agree that there's not going to be too much tactics involved. We're mainly just going to have a big bust up in the middle because that's what we like to see. In terms of deployment, I've got 1 Orc Boy mob shielding my mech guns. My characters are all clustered in the middle here. I've then got my 2 killer cans going to do their usual objective duties, while the Death Dreads are looking to absolutely peg it up the board. I've got my Storm Boys in the appropriately named Storm Boy Strike, so they are just out for a regular deep strike, not using strategic reserves. Yeah, it should be really interesting. In terms of secondaries, we have both gone for the reconnaissance specific one, which is called Recon Sweep. So so once per turn, any unit in our army can do an action, and once the action's completed at the end of your turn, the idea is you can only do one per quadrant, and the idea is to try and get all 4 quadrants. So it's 3 points for 1 quadrant, 6 points for 2 quadrants, 10 points if you get 3 of them, and then if you manage to somehow get all 4, you get the full 15 points. So me and Tom both thought, actually, as we we have got surprisingly quick armies here. We thought we'd give it a crack. In terms of other secretaries, I have gone for engaging all fronts, and so has Tom, just because if we've got to get around the board, we might as well continue. I then went for grind them down, so I'm trying to kill more units than Tom's killing. Then Tom, you went for raised banners because I suppose the idea being that if you're already going for objectives, you might as well double down on them.
Yeah, and if I'm spread out a bit more, because I've got probably a few more bodies than you, I can quickly nab a banner, even if just for one turn. There's still points on the board, because we all know Nids aren't the strongest or in a strong place at the moment.
Obviously, they've got potential, potential.
And luckily at 1,000 points, everyone's pretty level.
There's at 1k, you definitely can't fit all of the obnoxiousness. You've got to choose, which is probably one of the reasons why actually we've enjoyed filming these at 1k level, because you definitely got to do quite a bit of thinking about what you want to include in your list.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that was my thinking of it. I could just get around the board a lot quicker, and I could, even if it's for one turn, I can still get the banner raised, because I'll be able to cover most of the board pretty quickly. I might spread myself a bit thin, but
we'll see.
Even if I get a turn out of it, at least there's still points on the board. And to be honest, I don't have much in the way of big melee. If I could have afforded the points and brought like a Swarm Lord or something big that could probably take on a Killer Can one-on-one and just be like, yeah, it'll have a big chance of winning. The stuff I've got, I'll hurt them, but I don't think I'll kill them.
It's going to probably take you a turn. The Broodlord will probably do it, but there's a lot of stuff which is more of you're doing it probably over a couple of turns to get it done.
And I'm probably going to lose stuff in retaliation. So yeah, that was my thinking on it.
Makes sense.
So it should be fine. So overall, okay, so we're going to roll off to see who is going first.
So, using the Orky dice. That's a 1.
I think I will go first.
Go first? Fair enough.
Just because I can take advantage of it. So we'll come back after Tyranid's movement phase and see what I've got up to. Okay, so I've gone on a little adventure, a bit of Genestealer baggins. It's gone for a run. So yeah, I've advanced my Genestealers up because I get to charge as well. So I thought, well, might as well just run in. Supported by the Broodlord and one of the Carnifexes. Probably going to get the Carnifex to shoot into the boys just beforehand. Might clear 1 or 2 off the front, or Harry probably take them out the back, just to try and get into their lines. Around here, Termagants have advanced, so they run around the back, just get themselves ready to get on that point. These ones back here have raised the banner. The Ripper Swarm is going on a little adventure up the back half of the board, hopefully to get up to this one, but Harry's probably going to cut me off. But I have got this little group of nastiness to back them up if needs be. Cool, so we're going to go into my psychic phase and my shooting phase and see what happens with Tyranids, if anything. So we shall catch you guys in a second. Okay, I retract everything when it comes to what I just said about Tyranids. I deleted a Death Dread and it blew up and wounded everyone around him.
So it got 3. So when it exploded, it got 3 wounds on the boys mob. Saved 1 with the pain boy, but 2 died, and then it took another 3 wounds off the other Death Dread.
Yep. And that was only off a Carnifex and the Hive Guard, and a little bit of help from the other Carnifex. Then I devoured into some boys, took a couple of them out. So yeah, that's the end of my shooting. Psychic, I did get Catalyst, but then Harry uses 1 CP to re-roll his Deny the Witch and shut me down.
Because Feel the Pain is not what I need right at this point in time.
No. So that was good to him.
Your Leviathan 6-up is bad enough as it is.
Cool, so we're going to go into charges. It's probably going to be super disgusting, because it'll be my Genestealers going into the Orc boys. So we'll see if I make it, because I only get to roll 1 dice, but it's a 3-inch charge. And you're kidding me.
No, you get to roll 2 dice.
Do I get to roll 2?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 1.
No, you roll 1 dice for your advance because you're not cracking.
So yeah, so it made it. That was my arrow, so definitely in. So we'll come back after I've decided to hit them for a bit, because there's a lot of attacks because there's more than 10 of them. So this is going to be painful. So we're back in a second. Okay, so Genestealers did well.
They did exactly what they were meant to do.
Yeah, ran in, 40 odd attacks. Got quite a good roll on the -4 APs with the 6s to hit, so I managed to like devour quite a few of them. I managed to kill the entire unit and then tag the mech guns as well, which is actually a big move for me because they are currently trapped. So that's good for me because it means they won't be blasting one of my big bugs off the board next turn. But I can feel that Warlord's going to walk around the corner and be like, "Sup guys," and just devour them with his super claw, probably with the killer can as well. So yeah, that's the end of Tyranid's turn 1. I've managed to raise the banner on 1, started a recon sweep with my Neurothrope. So yeah, we'll move on to Orks turn 1.
Alright then, so end of Orcs turn 1 movement. It's definitely the Genestealer Chargers put me on the back foot here because I've had to shift my whole army around to deal with them. The two mech guns, have fallen back out of combat to allow the boys, Warboss and Pain Boy, who have now rocked up, to fire in and probably chuck a couple of stick bombs in before they then go and charge them, because I just need to get as much damage onto them as possible with their 6-up Feel No Pain. The Killer Can here has just walked around and has started to recon sweep in this quadrant here, so that should get me sorted for the time being. The Death Dread has got his full 9 inches up the board, and we're looking at a decent charge for him. Probably going to go into the Carnifex and the Hive Guard just to shut them down. Yeah, that's it for the time being. We're going on to Psychic phase, so we will first of all cast Warpath on the Orc boys. So that's going to be a 7 to cast.
Doesn't the Broodlord affect that or Synapse?
Charging Warps -1, but I get +2 for being
close to so many boys.
Yeah. So roll dice. A 6 +1 to a 7. Will go off. Do you want to try and deny it?
Yes.
2 and a 1, you don't. Good. And then we're going to smite the good old Genestealers. So that is a 10, 11, 12. Back to 11 again because of Shadow in the Warp. So that will be a super smite you can deny with the Neurothrope as well.
Yeah. Okay, rolling a 12.
Okay, so super smite is denied. Just out of interest, how many mortal wounds would that have been? Would have been 6.
Jeez. That just saved my bacon.
Okay, so we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Let's get shooting.
Yeah, cool. So we'll come back in a minute and see where we're at.
Right then, so end of Orc shooting. I was contemplating using more stick bombs on that Orc Boys mob because there being greater than 11 of them, that would have been 60 shots to play with, which I could have probably got those Genestealers off the object out of my way. However, I want to save my CP for start thinking about things like ramming speed and green ties, so I can start saving up. So the one guy chucked Tank Buster Bomb, which killed 2 Genestealers, and then the what was it? The Slugs and the Choppers, took out another 2 Genestealers in total. The Warboss, in 2 Orc fashion, missed. And the Killer Can here chucked a shot at the Carnifex, which did hit and did wound, but Tom passed it on a 6. So that is it for the time being in shooting. Going on to the proper phase, the assault phase.
Alright, so the Orcs turned up the meat grinder. Unfortunately, they did grind up all the Genestealers with some 1 heck of a punchback. I thought my 40 odd attacks was good, apparently not. Got absolutely dribbled on. Over here, I have lost a Khan effects as well. It's just as I thought it would do. Killer Khan's pretty darn dangerous, so they come running over.
That one's the Death Dread. The Killer Khan's no win.
Yeah, not Killer Khan's, Death Dread.
The Killer Khans are great for objectives and kind of rubbish at everything else.
Yeah, so I managed to pop one of the tins of soup, but this tin of soup was pretty angry at me. So he did Killer Khan effects. Score-wise, how are we looking?
So we both scored 3 points for our recon sweep. So you've done your home zone, and I have done my out of zone quadrant. We both didn't get engaged on all fronts. I got 3 points for grinding them down because I killed one Khan effects and a blob Genestealers. You only killed the one squad of. Oh no, I didn't actually, because you killed Death Dread as well. So no, I don't get those points. Scrap that. So I've got 3 points at this point being. Tom, you got 3 points to win your first turn, but going into your second turn, you will get 5 points for holding one primary and 1 point for a banner.
Nice.
It's not too bad.
Cool. So we'll go into Tyranid's turn 2's movement and see what dodginess I can concoct. So we'll see you in a second. Okay, so taking a bit of a not as aggressive approach as I thought I was going to pull off, because this little bastard in my back room needs to die. So advanced my Broodlords and plus his movement, and he literally went from over here, crawled in a vent and popped out here. It's like, hey bud, you need to die now. Moved these bad boys up here. Yes, they are now invisible to be shot at, but got 3 wounds each. At least they can shoot next turn. Little Rippers got up here, performed another action, because they are now in a new quarter, so that would be my second recon action. And then these guys are coming up behind them, just to try and maybe grab another banner. Never know. Put a banner down here. So that's sealed up my back quarter quite nicely. That sounded really wrong. I'm trying to keep as minimal about a gaps in my back line, because I know those Storm Boys are going to come in. And I don't want them rushing me from behind. So that could work out bad or good for me if I keep my movement. So we're going to go into shooting. I'm going to try and deal with this Death Dread the best I can after Sidekick. So we'll see what I can do, and we'll be back in a second. Well, as a great Bond villain once said, I expect you to die, Mr. Bond. And that's exactly what happened, Mr. Dread. You are now dead. That's exactly what I wanted. So yeah, I did take a Psychic Scream, a Smite,
and a Venom Cannon.
And I put a Catalyst on myself because I like to buff myself. So yeah, that's the end of Tyranid's turn 2. Yeah. Effective.
You've got engaged on all fronts this time.
Yep.
You've recon sweeped as well with the...
Yep, and I got another banner.
You have? Happy days.
I'm playing the game. Cool. Yeah, so we'll move into Orks turn 2. This is probably where it's going to get really messy. So we'll see what Harry comes up with.
It's been clean cut already.
It's been pretty clean cut. I clean cut your boys out of the game, and you clean cut my Genestealers out of the game. There was no messing about it. Anyway, we will come back after Harry's movement, please, and catch you guys in a second.
Alright then, so end of turn 2 for the Orcs movement phase. I've kind of split up the forces a little bit. My Killer Khan here has finished off waddling around onto this objective, and it is going to be his. This Khan here has stayed on the objective he was already on. At the start of my turn, I should say, I got 5 points for holding one primary. Then the blob that dealt with the Genestealers has kind of split off. The Weird Boy has stayed where he is. The Orc boys here have moved over, so they're going to be struggling with the barricades a bit, but they're making their way over. The Pain Boy himself has moved, so he is within a different quadrant, and he is going to recon sweep. So that is going to be 2 of my 4 quadrants done. And then finally, my war boss is probably going to go and take on those Hive Guard because I want to smash some stuff. And that's that really. Psychic phase wise, I'm going to cast Warpath on the Orc Boy squad. So needing a 7+1 because there are 10 Orc Boys nearby. That goes off as a perils. So D3 more wounds. 3 wounds. Great, he's got 1 wound left. And then I'm gonna smite.
Come on.
+1.
Perils again.
Okay, 6, 7 is alright. Do you want to try and deny that?
I'm out of denial range.
Out of denial range?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
over 24 inches away with both all my psychic, all 3 of them.
D3 more wounds on the Hive Guard. 3.
3.
You get 6 at field no pain because you're next to a Thyrax creature. So 1's live on 1 wound. Ooh. That was important.
Yeah, it's very big because they have 3 wounds each. So that means that they are still alive because they're one of my heavy punching units. Cool, so moving into charges.
I've still got a few. I've got a bit of shooting left.
Still got a bit of shooting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got mech guns. They've actually now.
I don't know what you're on about. Orcs don't shoot. We just go into the combat phase. Don't need to shoot. Anyway, we'll do the shooting. We'll come back and then see what is left.
Right then, so end of shooting phase for the Orcs. It's been alright. It's nothing special, but it's Orc shooting. What do you expect? So starting off, both killer cans flung rockets in against the Rippers, and thanks to the Leviathan's feel no pain, one of them is alive on 1 wound remaining.
That's how we roll.
Definitely. The scattered shooting here didn't do any wounds onto either the Carnifex or the Hive Guards, and then the 2 mech guns unfortunately only brought the Carnifex down to half health even with both their shots. I just didn't roll that well on my damages, and I need to save some. I've got 2 command points now, but I do need to save CP so I can actually start doing some work, which is I've got to be careful because that CP will come in handy quite soon.
Yeah, so moving on to your charge phase, what are you thinking?
So the War Boss is going to go into the Hive Guard.
Okay, I am going to spend a CP to overwatch that.
Yep, makes sense.
Just because if I get lucky, I could potentially kill him.
So he's got 7 wounds and he's very tough.
I do get 2 shots apiece. So... Okay, so there is 1 6 in there. I am strength 8, you are toughness 5.
Toughness 5, wounds and attacks. Yes, toughness 5. Actually...
Well, just a 2.
2 is not gonna do
it's
it.
not going to do it. It was worth it just
they are
in case.
toughness 5.
Yeah. Worth it just in case I managed to get lucky. Harry's also got a big charge over difficult terrain, well, difficult ground because it is a barricade. So it's -2 to charge. So
we'll do there's no difficult ground on the War Boss going up to the Hive Guards. We'll do those ones first.
Yeah.
So 6
should be enough.
Yeah, because it's free.
Yeah.
Free up. So he's in, and then the Orc boys -2 to this. I probably will need to do an here we go here. So a 3-inch charge is not going to make it.
No.
Here we go. 9. So that's a 7. Yep.
Just.
That gets him in.
Literally just. Nice. So we'll round up combat and then we'll come back to you and see what's happened and see what's alive and what's not. So we'll catch you guys in a second. Ooh, jeez. Okay. War bosses with that setup. Yeah.
Does the trick every time.
Yeah, devoured the Hive Guard. They had no chance, to be honest. Termagants over here, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah, my flank is collapsing slightly. It's fine.
But at the same time, my flank is collapsing well. So
Yeah,
what you'll probably see by the end of the game, we're going to be in each other's deployment zones.
Pretty much. So rounded up. I just got battered. Pretty much. Moving into my turn 3.
You get 5 points, 6 points for a banner.
Yeah.
And we'll come back with the rest of the movement and the scores on the doors.
Cool. So, a bit of a tactical play from the Nids. I've moved up this angry boy to stare at the Orks and be like, yeah, we're going to dance. And over here, we're going to have a psychic showdown. By a psychic showdown, I'm going to do all the psychic and you're going to fall down.
I might do a bit of denial, but...
And then over here, the Rippers have just moved over into the next quadrant, just about to get the next recon before they die. At least that gives me 3 recons.
They've done actually not too bad.
Yeah, Broodlord's facing off against the Killer Can, and then these little dribblies are running up behind them, just to give a bit of, well, not support, but hopefully cap that afterwards. So yeah, we're moving to my shooting phase. I am going to spend 2 CP on the Carnifex for pathological slime, so all my weapons get +1 damage. So hopefully I can deal with these boys a bit more. So we'll do that, and then we'll pop back and see what is left. Alright, so for me, the okay turn?
It's been a good...
It was a good turn. I killed the Killer Can with Broodlord, because...
That entire left-hand flank is now collapsed for me.
Yeah, but Broodlord's pretty crazy when they want to be, apparently. Down here, Carnifex came running in. Human battering rammed the Orks and killed one, and then subsequently killed another 2. They hit him back down to 2 wounds as well, but his shooting previous to that at the mech guns, I got absolutely nothing. Completely whiffed it. Same with Psychic on the War Boss. I managed to Psychic scream him pretty well, but not so well with the Smite. So he is left with 3 wounds. Other than that, I'm pretty much done for the turn. I've got the recon.
I've got to do morale on my Orks.
Yeah.
So, pretty much I think at this point it's just I need a 1. Nope, that's a 3. So 1 boy flees, and then there's 5 there. 1s and 2s do. And we have issues. So 2 more run away.
Ooh. Even just a couple of boys.
The good thing is I still hold that objective, so we will come back with Orks turn 3. Alright then, so end of the turn 3 movement for Orks. Start the turn, I got a CP, so I'm on 3 CP. And victory point wise, I held this objective. I also did hold the objective where the Carnifex was, well it is at the moment. So that meant I got 10 points. However, Tom only holds 1 objective, so actually that gave me the full 15 in this case. So huge point swing for me. Then in terms of movement, I've been really mean. I've brought lots of stuff back from the dead.
It's what it is, what Orks are meant to do.
So the Storm Boys have jumped down into their home, probably to go take on the Ripper Swarms, though I might send them off over somewhere else later on in the game. This bunch of Orc boys have gone on to face on the Broodlord because that thing is nasty. Don't want to see it anymore. 2 mech guns. One can see the Carnifex. The other one, actually, I'm not even sure can see anything at this point in time, so probably won't be doing anything this game. Weird Boy is staying there because he will do something in the meantime.
Might blow himself up, you know.
Possibly that. And then the Killer Can has charged forwards ready to take on the Ripper Swarms, and the War Boss will probably join in a bit too. Okie doke then, so that is the end of movement phase, going on probably into Psychic phase. Hopefully I don't blow myself up. And we will see in a bit. Alright then, so end of shooting phase for the Orks. Lots of Daka went in, and a rocket from the Killer Can. There's only one Ripper Swarm left, so we're doing a bit of pest control.
Slowly but surely.
We're getting there. The one smash gun that could see something completely whiffed. Other than that, we will be going on to charges. We'll start off with the Killer Cannons of the Ripper Swarm. Don't have any Overwatch, so he's in. We'll go clunk. The War Boss will go into the Ripper Swarm as well. On a 5, that won't get him there.
Fortunately.
So, here we go. I will reroll that one. Into an 8, that will make him. So he's going to go to there. And then the Storm Boys are going to go into that Ripper Swarm as well. A 9 gets them in because they've just come in from Deep Strike. We'll also do. It's 9 inches away. Ork Boys will go to the Broodlord as well because, hey, you might as well go for that charge. Here we go. That's even worse. That's a snake eyes. Cool, the Ork Boys failed, but Storm Boys did go in. So I'll plop them in and we will come back with combats.
Alright, so end of my turn 4. We kind of worked out that no matter what I do, I can't, like the point I'm too far behind and I don't have enough to be able to counteract this massive blob. The final straw that breaks the camel back is that Orks can spend 3 CP, and Harry had 3 CP to bring back a massive blob of boys, which is like 125 points back on the board.
Yes, in a. To be honest, it probably was a bit of an unfair move to do, but
yeah,
it has secured the game because unfortunately Tyranids have run out of steam, and
yeah, it's kind of a shame because for the first 3 turns we were
on the back foot badly.
Yeah, we were match for match. Then the Orks just started overkilling me and I just couldn't match it. Like we worked out over here, the Broodlord is going to spin round. He's probably going to kill the Killer Can. Might get lucky with a smite, but I have to roll like a 6 on the damage unless I get a super to kill the Warlord. If not, the Warlord kills me because that Power-claw is too powerful. If I somehow survive that and still beat him, the Storm Boys will get me straight afterwards. So, and the Termagants will be gone. Termagants will be gone anyway, because they'll just get ripped to shreds. I would have to have reconned down here for a turn, so the Pain Boy would still be alive. And then the next.
Got me engaging on fronts, and especially with the amount of jumping and the Storm Boys, which is, sadly I love the models, but I haven't actually been able to do much with this game. They've got so much maneuverability that engaging on fronts was maxed out for me at this point.
Yeah, and that's again just where the points have come in. Where I run out of steam because I just don't have anything really left to like engage on that many fronts. Maybe I went a little bit too big at the beginning, but I kind of had to.
I'm not sure you did. I think you did play it. You played it right. It's the fact that I can almost add in extra 100 odd points.
Yeah. Because
you dealt with both the Death Dreads very quickly, and actually that is my main sort of tough stuff. Because the Bolt Boys are great, but they can't do everything, unfortunately, and that's where the Death Dreads come in.
No, yeah, I agree. And yeah, it was a super fun game. Like getting to play a new army that I haven't played before, and I've always thought of Tyranids like super weak. Because when I've played them, I've just walked all over them, playing Blood Angels or my Iron Hands as they were at the time.
I wouldn't say they're super weak. I think
they have some good attributes.
I'm not sure that in 9th edition now with the points that the classic many Genestealer going off together is the right thing to do. We'll talk about more of this in the recap at the end, but
Yeah.
I think in total score we mapped out, and it was looking, including painted score, it was about 80 points to the Orks.
30. Yeah.
Done about 46 to the Tyranids, which it was.
Annoyingly, that sort of scoreline doesn't reflect the sort of game we were having.
If you don't include up to turn 4 for either of us, it's pretty much neck and neck.
Yeah.
But once again, it was the fact that at turn 4 I was able to grab a 15 pointer for holding 2 objectives, but that was more than you, and then that 15 points just shot me in the lead. And unfortunately, because you had so few units, that 15 points just snowballs for the last 2 turns, and that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. Really.
Yeah. Bro, so we'll have a quick end game roundup and have like our MVP units. So we'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so end of game review. Like we've said, up to turn 3, pretty neck and neck.
It was points wise. I'm pretty sure I was behind.
Yeah, I think turn 1 and 2, I had you on a real back foot.
Completely.
I think
you tied up my mech guns, so all that shooting on that side was completely nullified. You killed a squad of boys, so I only had one squad of boys to deal with. So if you had got lucky and had wiped out that squad, I had nothing left at that point. It was just okay-ish units. I mean, the store boys are fun, but they're 12 points a model.
Yeah, I think I caught you off guard just how aggressive I was going to be, like just to rush straight through the middle.
I think that's kind of what you have to do with GC.
Yeah,
charging.
I can see why if you got the points, 2 groups of them, you get across that board turn 1. Jesus.
Yeah,
that's a scary amount.
But unfortunately, with as I was saying to you earlier, that I'm not 100% sure that the sort of 8th edition, we'll just go with 90 Genestealers, is the right way to go, because their points have gone up, so they're 15 points a model now, so that's a ton of your points going into what is effectively just meant to be a distraction unit.
Yeah.
And interestingly, I think of all things, your small Termagant units actually were really useful, because they got you the most points in the game.
Yeah, for raising banners and running them around, because you I think just you ignored them until you had to deal with it.
Well, I mean, that's
so
what they were
close.
there. I had to deal with because I had to get on an objective, because I would have given you 15 points come your turn.
This squad's run from bottom of the board up to here, unchallenged.
Because there have been more important units in the games.
So it's definitely something to think about, I would say, just like running a couple of groups of them. Just don't throw them into your front line, use them as a back line, just run around, because people might ignore them, or again, if you have to deal with it, you're probably going to lose the unit, but it may have done 2 banners for you.
Oh, 100%.
That's loads of points out of nowhere.
Especially on a small board like we're playing on, I'm not sure Kraken isn't 100% needed.
No,
because Eugene's has got there with an average roll of an average advance roll anyway. But the Leviathan 6 at Feel No Pain, alright, it was an issue with some of the going against some of the more squishy units like the Ripper Swarms and the Termagant, because when I hit them with such an overwhelming amount of attacks that
they couldn't handle it. But then my bigger stuff, like my Hive Guard, just looked at you and laughed every time I shot them.
Oh yeah, and then my 1 killer can, who should have been able to kill one of them, didn't, because he got a 6 at Field of Play. I think Leviathan's not a bad
choice. It was good. Like, it did save me, and like especially like the Death Dreads at the beginning, where I just absolutely annihilated one of them.
Well, you had to, but
I had to deal with it.
Like you've got your Genestealers, I got those 2 Death Dreads.
Yeah,
and they just
even when one got into my lines, I was just like, cool, I'll just focus on it. Like if you focus fire Tyranids, they're still pretty scary. Like Carnifexes, Hive Guard for me.
did all right.
If I was going to run 2,000 points, I probably would run 6 to 9 of them.
I think
I know that's like 380 points.
150 points per 3, I think.
Yeah, so even more.
They are expensive, but the fact that you didn't do it this game, but because I quite rightly just went, no, I'm not facing that again. Just wiped them all out with the War Wasp, but they are just a solid unit. They are probably one of the most dependable units you've got in the Codex. I think the other issue is we were saying is that I'm not sure we've quite understood actually how important the primaries are in the playing of the game, because we're still playing almost a little bit like we're playing 8th, where it's an objective marker, it's a point, it's fine, but it's not. It could be anywhere from 5 extra points to 15. And
and like sometimes I do maybe as you've watched kill something more, because in my head I'm like, oh, 8th, if I kill that, that's kill more.
Yeah.
Or I've done more there, it cripples you down that route. Which, even with like other armies,
I mean, you still got to kill stuff because
you still got to kill. But I think you can get away with being more cagey. Because like 8th, if you play cagey, you would just get overwhelmed. But in this, you play cagey, you hold back, you keep your points, maybe run at 1 and force your opponent off it.
I still think actually you probably want to be aggressive to get the ball control early.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I started to notice, especially here, is I struggled to put my Storm Boys anywhere because you were completely screening me out because you've been so aggressive. So actually, I think if you're running Deep Strikes on the ground, you've got to be aggressive to get yourself landing space.
Yeah, and I can see some armies with jump packs like the Storm Boys, like Death Company, Custodes, jet bikes,
Gargoyles for
Tyranid, anything that is jump or flying or super quick, especially with the new codex, with 2 wound assault marines.
Could be very interesting.
Could really game change because you'd be so fast, so deadly. I can get why like things like Raven Guards redeployment. You suddenly redeploy a bunch of assault marines or Vanguard veterans with 2 wounds next to a.
I think it's
pretty crazy.
One sort of a unit to look out for in the future probably was going to be sort of jump infantry of that kind.
Yeah.
So the infantry that it has to be infantry, so it can do your action, so it can do your banner raising, you can do your sweep and clear, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's fast and it can get places. It's not bothered by things like difficult terrain. It's not bothered by other models, so you can't block off. They can get to where they need to be. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe if you do like the content. We do have an Instagram page as well, which will be below probably at the beginning of the video, just so you guys can keep up with all the latest news and latest bat reps. If you don't turn the little bell icon on, then you get notifications from us. We are hopefully going to be posting more frequently, at least once a week. So if you want to keep up, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys later.
Take care.